Interkom kapal adalah sebuah elektronik yang membolehkan perbualan pribadi, pengumuman, dan kerjasama di atas kapal. Interkom boleh dipasang secara tetap atau dibawa ke mana-mana, dan ia boleh disambungkan ke peranti lain seperti telefon bimbit, walkie-talkie, radio dan telefon. Berikut adalah beberapa ciri-ciri interkom kapal. Komunikasi yang boleh dipercayai. Interkom boleh menyediakan komunikasi yang boleh dipercayai dalam persekitaran yang bising, di mana telefon kapal mungkin tidak begitu berkesan. Interkom tidak semestinya memerlukan jawapan panggilan aktif, tidak seperti telefon kapal. Interkom boleh digunakan untuk menyampaikan maklumat kepada seseorang tanpa memerlukan pembesar suara. Beberapa interkom kapal direka untuk kalis cuaca dan tahan terhadap bahan kimia. Mereka boleh digunakan dalam pelbagai suhu dan mempunyai kes yang tahan karat. Kerahsiaan untuk maklumat yang akan sampaikan. Komunikasi dalaman kapal adalah sistem hubungan dan komunikasi dalam kapal, serta dengan sistem luaran. Beberapa contoh sistem komunikasi dalaman di atas kapal termasuk sistem telefon dan faks. Ini boleh menjadi telefon dial jenis rumah tangga atau sistem telefon berkuasa bunyi. Penggera dan sistem pembesar suara, ini boleh termasuk pembesar suara, fon kepala, dan mikrofon. Sistem komunikasi helikopter atau pesawat, ini membolehkan komunikasi dengan pesawat atau helikopter. Sistem telefon tanpa wayar, ini membolehkan komunikasi tanpa wayar. Sistem komunikasi dalaman kapal seperti berikut. Dial telefon garis miring telefon dial. 2. Sound Powered Phone System garis miring sistem telefon berkuasa bunyi. 3. Broadcast Announcement System garis miring sistem pengumuman misi. 4. Radio Communication Station garis miring stesen komunikasi di atas kapal. Dial telefon dial, telefon jenis rumah dengan direktori yang dipaparkan berhampiran setiap telefon. Telefon-telefon ini digunakan di atas kapal dan membolehkan pengguna membuat sambungan tanpa bantuan pengendali pertukaran. Sound-Powered Phone System, sistem telefon berkuasa bunyi, sistem untuk komunikasi dalaman di atas kapal. Sistem telefon berkuasa bunyi adalah peranti komunikasi yang membolehkan orang bercakap antara satu sama lain di atas kapal tanpa kuasa luar. Sistem ini menggunakan mikrofon khas untuk menghasilkan arus elektrik daripada suara pengendali, yang kemudiannya digunakan untuk menghantar bunyi kepada penerima. Telefon berkuasa bunyi telah digunakan di kapal sejak tahun 1950-an dan sering digunakan untuk komunikasi kecemasan. Mereka tidak bergantung kepada bekalan kuasa kapal, jadi mereka masih boleh digunakan walaupun kuasa terputus. Broadcast Announcement System sistem pengumuman misi, sistem untuk komunikasi dalaman di atas kapal. Sistem pengumuman siaran di atas kapal adalah pemasangan pembesar suara yang membolehkan mesej dihantar kepada anak kapal dan penumpang kapal. Sistem-sistem ini digunakan untuk pelbagai tujuan, termasuk pengumuman umum, untuk memaklumkan kru tentang mesej-mesej penting. Alat penggera kecemasan, untuk memberi amaran kepada kru tentang bahaya yang akan datang. Arahan, mengeluarkan arahan kepada anak kapal. Hiburan, menyiarkan hiburan kepada kru dan penumpang. Sistem pengumuman siaran juga dikenali sebagai sistem pembesar suara awam, sistem PA. Mereka direka untuk beroperasi dalam persekitaran maritim dan sering dilengkapi dengan kes karis air. Sesetengah sistem membenarkan penceramah memilih pembesar suara yang ingin digunakan, manakala yang lain lebih asas dan dilengkapi dengan mikrofon dan butang kecemasan. Sistem pengumuman siaran adalah ciri keselamatan yang penting di kapal, kerana ia membantu memastikan maklumat kritikal disampaikan dengan cepat kepada kaki tangan yang sesuai. Radio Communication Station stesen komunikasi di atas kapal. Stesen mudah alih berkuasa rendah untuk komunikasi dalaman di atas kapal. Radio di atas kapal, juga dikenali sebagai radio kapal, adalah radio yang dipasang pada kapal untuk komunikasi. Tujuan stesen tersebut adalah untuk membolehkan komunikasi dalaman di atas kapal, serta komunikasi antara kapal dan bot penyelamatnya atau kapal lain. Keperluan untuk radio kapal bergantung pada saiz kapal, destinasi, dan tujuan. Sebagai contoh, Kapal kargo atau penumpang besar yang berlayar di lautan terbuka dikehendaki mempunyai peralatan komunikasi jarak jauh. Sebaliknya, kapal penumpang kecil yang berlayar di sepanjang pantai mungkin hanya perlu berkomunikasi pada jarak yang lebih pendek.
Jersey Museum and Memorial. Today we're going to do a brief video talking about the various types of telephones on the ship, because today is the day after Thanksgiving and you really should have remembered to call your family. So, Battleship New Jersey has at least 3 different types of telephones on board when she's in service throughout the various times of her career. This space is called the Telephone Exchange Room, or the PBX, and it's where the ship's service telephones would have been routed through before they went to another receiver. Ship service telephones are specifically for talking from one room on the ship to another. This uses a 4-digit dial code that starts with the number 7. There are approximately 800 of this type of phone on board the ship. In this space today, you're seeing a mix of the original, at least original to the 1980s, equipment that would have been used to run the phone system, and the more modern equipment, because the Navy gutted a lot of the original stuff that was in here, or otherwise it was unable to function. So we replaced it with slightly more modern systems that were able to function and keep some of the original telephones working. We currently have about 1/3 of those original 800 phones scattered around the tour route that still work. And keeping them functioning, or getting more functioning, is a simple matter of plugging the different phones into the computer so that an extension is associated with a specific phone in a specific place throughout the ship. So this type of phone here with 7660, remember that 4-digit 7 starting number I told you about, is one of those ship service phones. As you can tell, this is a little bit more modern. This is a 1980s edition. There would have been a World War II era phone system on board. However, it seems like most, if not all, of those original phones were swapped out for this kind. Notice that even though this is the modern 1982 style of phone, it is still a rotary dial phone. Again, these are for point-to-point. From this room, I can call another room on the ship that has a phone like this. I cannot, even if the ship is ashore and plugged into a landline, call off of the ship. Another type of 80s phone that we have on board are the red phones that you see throughout the ship. There are 46 of them around the ship, primarily in command and control facilities. They are radio control stations that go through SAS, also known as the Coke machine, which is this big red thing about the size of a Coke machine. That is a radio for point-to-point communications with other ships. So if the Coke machine has specific frequencies programmed into it, let's say you're operating with a battle group, you program whatever your frequency is for that entire battle group. That means that whatever one of the command and control spaces you might be in, right now we are in after plot, so we're aiming the 5-inch guns and another ship is about to come across our line of fire. I can get on this phone and immediately call somebody on one of these phones on that ship and tell them that whatever I need to tell them, that they're about to be on the receiving end of 5-inch rounds. In terms of original World War II era phones, all around the ship you'll see sound-powered phones like this one. One of my favorite things to ask kids on tours is what powers a sound-powered phone. The kids always get it right. The answer is sound. Adults tend to say, well, electricity, obviously. Electricity powers everything. The sound-powered phones are specifically for when you lose electricity or have otherwise taken battle damage. Phone lines might be cut, power might be cut. If that happens, your radio telephone's probably out. Your ship service telephone is probably out. The sound-powered phones will work unless the specific line that connects this to the other sound-powered phones is cut. When you speak into the phone, your voice vibrates a membrane. That membrane generates just enough power to transmit your voice over the line. These phones are on a party system, so if I pick this up, this is probably the gunnery department or one of those sorts of things. So everybody else in the gunnery department is on that phone line listening. There are several different phone circuits like that throughout the ship for various party lines for various departments. You can see that there are multiple circuits that you can plug into, such as these right here. In addition to handsets like this one, these phones also have headsets like these over in this corner, where it goes on over your head and there's a piece that sits on your chest right here. You just have to push down that button on your chest to speak into it, release it, and you can hear whatever someone else is speaking. Very similar to that, the phone over here has a push button on the handset as well. Earlier, I said that this one's probably on a gunnery-specific circuit. Well, do your shipboard archaeology. You can see exactly where it's plugged into. These things are called growlers. This particular sound-powered phone can call one of 16 different places. Things like the pilot house, CIC, CEC, radio transmitter room. So all of these important places around the ship, you just turn the dial to whichever number on the chart. So we're in secondary battery plot. I'm now calling main battery plot forward. And then you crank on that. These are called growlers because they then make a really terrible squawking sound in the space that you're calling. And that's what lets you know to pick up the phone. In addition to these sorts of phones which work throughout the ship, there would also be certain telephones or certain offices around.
Internal communication system. Ship's personnel are required to communicate to each other for efficiency and safety. Following are the systems that are provided for the purpose of communication on board a ship. Voice pipes. A voice pipe is a device based on two cones connected by an air pipe through which speech can be transmitted over an extended distance. This is very old system and no longer is used. This does not require any power source. Sound-powered telephone. Sound-powered telephones are used in communication when there is power failure or other means of communication is not available. These are normally fitted in areas like bridge, engine control room, steering flat, forecastle, aft deck area, etc. These phones may directly connected between two phones or to multiple phones connected through a selector switch. Ship's telephone system. Every ship is fitted with a telephone system with digital electronic exchange. Telephones are provided in bridge, ECR, in each officer's cabin, etc. Power is supplied from the ship's main system. Walkie-talkie. Walkie-talkie are provided for communications on board ships. These instruments can be carried in hand and person can contact with each other very conveniently. They can recharged once the battery is extinguished. Public address systems. Public address systems are provided on ships to make mass announcement. The microphone may be fitted in the bridge or other places and speakers are filled in different areas of the ship so that all can hear to the announcement.
Halo guys, jumpa lagi bersama saya Cecep Chan. Kali ini saya akan memperlihatkan bagaimana cara menggunakan on power telepon ya. Jadi dia menggunakan sistem suara. Jadi diputar seperti ini. Jadi dia putar gini. Kita mau kemana misalnya ya? Mau ke apa ya? Misalnya nomor 7 ya. Nomor 7, live pod nomor 2. Jadi kita pasang ke 7, kita putar. Nah, bunyi di sana. Nah, nanti di sana ada yang angkat pick up telepon biasa. Jangan lupa ketika beres pakai, tutup. Oke, balikkan lagi ke off. Sound power teleponnya ya, di sini nomor-nomornya. Dia hanya di ruang-ruang tertentu saja. Ya. Yang dikira-kira menjadi key point dari suatu daerah di lokasi diri. Oke guys, itu aja dari saya. Ikuti terus channel Cecep Chan untuk set titik selanjutnya. Stay healthy and safe.
Set general quarters. General quarters, all hands man your battle plate. General quarters is up and forward to the starboard side, down and aft to the port side. The reason for general quarters is hostile activity on board south.
Aye, sir.
Sound general quarters.
Aye, sir.
General
All hands, man your battle stations. General quarters. Time plus 2 minutes.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill. General quarters. General quarters. All hands man your battle stations.
We're leaving now, Samir.
General quarters, all hands man your battle station. Trans hall. Up in the floor on the starboard side. Dial on the port side. All Pacific now reinforcing. Central cemetery condition 0 throughout the ship.
Sekian, terima kasih. Like, share dan subscribe.